Oh my God, we're back. Okay. Long story about why there hasn't been a video in a little while, but we'll talk about that more on the other side of the title card. We're talking about Marvel today, catching up on Daredevil and all the Avengers and whatnot news that has been posted. So hang tight and let's go. Hey, it's Dave back with Blockbuster Underground. So yeah, the last couple of weeks, a little weird. Got sick to start with, had no voice whatsoever, and then if you've been following the weather, there was a big ice storm in my area that basically knocked my power out for a better part of a week. So anyway, we're back, and we are talking about Marvel today. We're gonna get caught up on what's going on with Daredevil Born Again, and then we're gonna talk about Doomsday and Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, and we'll see what happens. So, Daredevil, last I reviewed the first two episodes, but I haven't reviewed three, four, five, six, or seven. We're not going to go huge into depth on each episode because we'd be here forever. But episode three is basically the trial of the black. I'm thinking Black Panther. Sorry, White Tiger, Hector. He's on trial. There's a whole thing where he's like, Matt's like, well, you weren't wearing your White Tiger costume when you did this. So, and Buddy's like, well, I don't want anyone to know that I'm White Tiger. But in order to the witness in episode two that Matt saved, where he kicked the shit out of those two cops, he comes in and basically jellyfishes and says, "Oh yeah, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Whatever." So Matt turns around and he's like, "Well, the only way to get out of this is reveal that Hector is White Tiger." So he pulls out the mask and he's like, "Is it true that like you did this?" And Hector's like, "It was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do for everything." And there's like reports from cops saying, White Tiger showed up and helped me. Otherwise, I would have been dead. And Hector basically gets acquitted, let out, free of charges, goes home, puts the White Tiger suit on. Because Matt, at one point, Hector just pissed with him near the end. He's like, that wasn't your secret to tell. And Matt's like, I think your White Tiger days are behind you. But Hector goes home, puts the White Tiger suit on right away, goes out looking for somebody to help. And shadowy figure steps out of nowhere. Headshot. Hector's dead. They walk towards camera, and there's a Punisher logo on their vest. So we've got the copycat Punishers going on. Episode four. Shit, I can't even remember this far back. Hang on, guys. IMDb, and I'll tell you, not having my voice for like a week was fucking awful. I'm big into singing while I drive, and couldn't do that. It was bad. Next week. Okay. Episodes. Here we go. One, two, three, four. Okay, so yeah, four is where Matt goes to talk to Punisher. Really good scene there where Punisher's like, "I don't think you're here to talk to me. I don't think you're here for me to give you permission to go back out as Daredevil." Because Matt's just fucking pissed now that Hector's been killed. They five. So five was the bank episode where Matt actually teams up with Miss Marvel's dad from the Miss Marvel show as he's at a bank and the bank gets robbed and he doesn't turn it into the Daredevil costume, but he whips some ass. Pretty good episode. Very much one-off, filler because it doesn't really progress the story any much. Episode six is where it gets really good because Muse comes out and Hector's niece comes to see Matt. She's like, "I know where this guy is." He's like, "This track, there's an abandoned area here. It's got to be in there that he's got his headquarters or his fucking lair or whatever." And Angela ends up getting fucking captured by Muse, who, as we well know from the cutscene, basically drains the blood out of his victims and uses it to paint murals. Yeah, creepy as fuck. So he grabs Angela, fucking Matt's sitting in his house, condo or whatever, and Angela's mom aunt, aunt, I guess. Yeah, aunt calls him. She's like, she's not home. I'm not sure what's going on. She never does this. I'm freaking out. And he's just like, okay, calm down. Don't worry about it. Just stay where you are. And he hangs the phone up and he picks the phone up again, dials 911. And you hear the operator going, hey, 911, if I can help you. And he doesn't say anything and he just goes, hangs up and goes, fuck it. Suits up, goes in, finds Muse just as he's about to start draining the blood out of Angela, beats the fuck out of him, huge brawl, nearly kills him, has him in a fucking garrote, hanging him like a fucking, like, mid-century freaking gallows thing, and then he realizes Angela's dying. He can hear her heartbeat starting to slow down. So he lets go of Muse, goes and gets her CPR and brings her back, and turns around, Muse is gone. In the meantime, Kingpin, as a little workout routine, I guess, has been periodically going down to this basement lair and having a nice, huge, massive dinner and beating the shit out of Adam. So this time he goes down there with an axe, and he's like, a simple tool can be the difference between winning or losing a fight. And he throws the axe to Adam, and Adam comes down with the axe. Kingpin beats the fucking shit out of this guy, man. Throwing him like concrete, flying everywhere. He's just like beating and punching and slamming and throwing this guy. One point, he screams, "Mine!" as he fucking hammers on him. And from a behind the scenes video I've seen, D'Onofrio said that was like ad libbed by him on the set when they were shooting that. And they just happened to catch it and kept it in the show, which is, oh, such a good scene. So, this week's episode, basically, Daredevil finds out that Muse's next victim is his girlfriend, Heather. So he's down in Muse's lair looking around. There's all these sketches going, sketch upon sketch. All of, dogs are freaking out again. Yeah, sorry. All these sketches of Matt's girlfriend, Heather, the psychiatrist chick. And he's like running his hand over it and feeling the textures. The same way earlier in the episode, he's running his hand over her face just to feel the contours and stuff. I don't know why. It's weird too, because Muse ends up actually being a patient of Heather's. So there's this kid, Bastian, like rich kid. Um, Parents always forcing him to do shit he didn't like. Blah 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 blah. All he wanted to be was an artist, and he's sitting there saying, "Oh, you're a doctor. You're the one that unlocked this in me and enabled me to show my true self." And next thing you know, he's got a fucking tourniquet around her fucking arm, and he slits her friggin' arm from like elbow to wrist. So she's sitting there bleeding out. Throws down this sheet on the ground, and he's basically gonna make a canvas with her blood, obviously. The cops at this point show up, and all of a sudden, Daredevil smashes through the window. Broad daylight. This was weird. Beats the shit out of Muse. Fucking. There's one point Muse is going for Heather, and Daredevil basically uses his grappling hook, goes right through the kid's shoulder. And so, next thing you know, Heather somehow has managed to grab the gun that got knocked away and puts 4 rounds into Muse's chest and kills him. So, and then she collapses because of blood loss. And Daredevil runs over and he's like rubbing her face, and he's like, calls her Heather, which is weird. I mean, not really, but that comes up later in the episode. Stabilizes her before the task force that Kingpin's put together comes into the room, and they're like, okay, Muse is dead. Victim needs emergency help. She's been stabilized, though, so we're okay there. And then we cut to basically Kingpin saying his task force was the one that killed Muse. And then we cut to the hospital, and Heather's waking up, and Matt's there, and she's like, "It's really weird. Daredevil called me by my name. I don't know what that was." And it's like, oh, boy, here we go. Like, she's gonna figure it out, or she's gonna die, one or the other. But in the comics, she dies. But this is a very different take on this character than the comics, so we'll see. Next episode, April 8th, which is next Tuesday. And then we got one more on the 15th, and that's going to be the big finale for season 1. Season 2 is currently shooting. I've seen set photos where Daredevil's going to be wearing an all black suit with a red DD on his chest. About fucking time. That only took 20 fucking years. So yeah, I'm loving the show. Great performances all around. And yeah, 2 episodes left to go. I'm pretty sure Punisher's coming into it next week in full force. Not just the one scene they had where they were talking. The finale, God only knows where this is going to lead to. I mean, it's going to. Season 2's, wow. Loving the show, let's put it that way. Anyway, on to the Doomsday news. They had a 5.5 hour live stream where they showed the names of every single character that's going to be in Doomsday. Let's recap it in about 50 seconds. How about, guys? So, we've got, get ready for this, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Louis Pullman as Sentry, spoiler, Florence Pugh as Yelena, spoiler, Danny Ramirez as Falcon, Ian McKellen as Magneto, that's a deep pull, Sebastian Stan as Bucky, Winston Duke as M'Baku, Chris Hemsworth back as Thor, Kelsey Grammer is going to play Beast, James Marsden coming back as Cyclops, hopefully comic accurate Logan's Wolverine style costume. Then we got Channing Tatum as Gambit, so he did not get left in the void. Wyatt Russell as U.S. Agent, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Rebecca Romaine as Mystique, Patrick Stewart as Professor X, coming back again, Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler, coming back from X-Men 2, Letitia Wright as Black Panther, we got Tena Huerta as Namor, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Hannah John Kamen as Ghost, Joseph Quinn is Johnny Storm, Human Torch, David Harbour as Red Guardian, RDJ is Doctor Doom, Evan Moss Bacharach is The Thing, Anthony Mackie is Captain America. And they say they're going to add more, which is not surprising. Rumors I've heard of this, and the reason I was saying spoilers is because anyone listed in here that's in the Thunderbolts, obviously ain't going to die. Like Louis Pullman is Sentry. Come on, guys. I mean, obviously Sentry is basically indestructible, so, I mean, there's that. But, let's keep a little bit of mysticism to this. McKellen coming back, the original X-Men coming back as their original characters. Like I said, hopefully they got the proper, like Cyclops has the stripe across his chest, and the blue and the yellow and everything. Hopefully. If they're going that way, Nightcrawler I'm thinking is going to be all CGI because Alan Cumming is getting up there in age. And I don't think we're going to see him doing much wire work leaping around the set. Having Namor in this, as well as Reed Richards and Sue Storm, is going to be interesting if they go according to the comic books. Because, as we all know, Namor had a bit of a thing for Sue Storm. So that could cause a little bit of friction between Pedro and Tenoch. No Hulk, which is weird. Who else? No She-Hulk. No Moon Knight. No Kate Bishop. They do kind of give a nod to the Young Avengers, though, in the 5th episode of Daredevil, where Kamala's dad mentions that she's in Los Angeles, and as we know, that's basically the headquarters of the Young Avengers or the West Coast Avengers. We could be going for, but that was a neat little nod there, and him having the Funko Pop of her too was funny. In one of the reveals I saw, they had Paul Rudd's chair like micro-sized next to everyone else's. The clip that I saw, it was actually full size alongside everyone else's, but nice little jab through the Ant-Man thing. But yeah, so this is coming out 2026, I believe. Yeah, summer 2026, and then summer 2027 is Secret Wars, which is going to be, oh my god, I can only imagine if there's this many characters in this, it's going to be crazy. But yeah, so that's basically the up and up on what's been going on with Marvel. We're obviously going to get more and more stuff as we go on. They did apparently show a 5-minute IMAX featurette of Superman before Minecraft in certain theaters, I heard. Not going to find out if that's true or not. I have no interest in the Minecraft movie. But it just sucks how they showed a lot of stuff at CinemaCon too, apparently. some Superman footage. They showed the entire How to Train Your Dragon live action movie. So they showed a Masters of the Universe reveal where they showed Jared Leto as Skeletor. Uh, this stuff never leaks online, which kind of, well, it does leak online sometimes in really shitty quality, but they never actually post it online, which is stupid in this day and age. Like, come on, you want to, it's fucking free advertising for your shit. That's why I question these copyright strikes sometimes. Like when people do reaction videos to trailers or movies, and they get copyright struck, and it's like, this is free advertising for you, man. Like people watch these videos and they're like, hey, look at this. This person that I agree with their take on movies thinks this looks cool. Maybe I might check this out too. But yeah, some studios are just bitchy about that. I don't know. But anyway, let me post this video up, and if anything else exciting comes up in the next little while, I'll be sure to keep going updating and look for a new episode review for Daredevil's final two episodes as they air, probably the day after on Wednesday. And we'll catch you in the next video.